For years, the Hamptons community has exemplified beauty and quality in fine home building. But nestled in this community is a house that tells a much different story. On the surface, it looks like another beautiful home, but a closer look reveals it is more than just that. It is an innovation in environmental design. In the next half hour, we will take a look at how a tragic event united this family with a unique team of contractors to create this amazing home. Harnessing the environment, turning raw elements into concentrated usable power. This idea is not a new one. Contractors, architects, and builders around the world are constructing homes with environmental efficiency at the foreground. Germany is responsible for more than half of the world's solar generating capacity. Norway plans on being completely carbon neutral by 2030. The United States, however, is still struggling to carry its weight in the way of environmental building. The U.S. is the second largest emitter of carbon dioxide from the burning of fossil fuels. These fossil fuels account for over 80% of the energy used in America. Many have woken up to the alarm of a planet in need of a change. Since 2007, U.S. states are spending 2 times more on energy efficiency, with New York State rating 4th in overall efficiency. And here on Long Island, a team of contractors who call themselves the Hamptons Green Alliance are working to create a new worldwide standard for environmentally sustainable building. While the Alliance is ready and willing to build the green homes of the future, they must first find a special kind of resident, one who is both in need of a home and who will be passionate about the mission to rethink the way our dwellings interact with the surrounding environment. And that is where our story begins. This house looks beautiful now, but just 2 years ago, while its residents were celebrating Hanukkah, it was destroyed by a sudden fire.
Well, our house, as you know, had burned down, and probably a month, maybe a little longer than a month after it burned down, my husband and I started talking about rebuilding it.
The Dubins felt a special bond with their land. Starting from scratch anywhere else was simply not an option.
We really loved this area. We wanted to rebuild the house. We weren't interested in going somewhere else. And then Rick Stott, who is a local architect and a very, very close family friend, contacted my husband.
The house belonged to a friend of mine, David Dubin, and his family. And fortunately, nobody was hurt in that fire, but it was a devastating fire that pretty much ruined the house.
Rick contacted us one day, and he had said that Telemark had sent out an email blast, and they were looking for a project.
We realized that we needed to do a project that would demonstrate what we could do as a group when we collaborate together. We reached out to subcontractors we knew and that we worked with that had a great reputation and were also leaders in green building, and we assembled an organization.
The Hamptons Green Alliance came together for this unique project to not only build a model home of energy efficiency, but to also give back to a family.
The Hamptons Green Alliance is an organization of contractors and subcontractors all wanting to do sustainable development. Telemark Construction is responsible for putting the Hamptons Green Alliance together right from the beginning.
For over 20 years, Telemark has been committed to making green homes. Roy Daleen, his brother Frank, and his son Tim were set on adding to this commitment by teaming with the Green Alliance to set a new standard for environmental building. All they needed now was a project, and they were all ears when they discovered what architect Richard Stott had to offer.
I presented this project to Hamptons Green Alliance at a meeting, and everyone liked the idea. It is truly what I've been calling a carbon cloud with a platinum lining.
Because we've always been concerned about the environment, we've spent a lot of time in the mountains hiking with our kids. The environment has always been really, really important to us.
I taught environmental law for a number of years in college, and we believed in it.
And so the more we heard about building a house that was energy efficient, the more it interested us.
The Hamptons Green Alliance agreed to focus on 3 sustainable goals. The first goal is to strive to be net zero as a means of cutting greenhouse gas emissions. The second is to be carbon neutral and establish a new standard for measuring a home's carbon footprint. And the third goal is to be LEED Platinum, which is the highest rating given under the United States Green Building Council's LEED for Home certification program. LEED is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. The home will remain connected to the national grid. However, the biggest challenge for the Dubin home will be to actually generate more energy than it will consume. With the numerous new technologies required in the design, an equally ambitious system of communication between contractors would also need to be established.
We use this approach called integrated design, and that allows for the construction team, all the subcontractor trades, the contractor, and the design team to sit around a table to work out that design and work out the coordination between all the technologies. You need to have an electrician speaking with a plumber and a plumber speaking with the heating guy because all of these systems integrate with each other and have to coordinate and work together.
By having the tradespeople talk with one another, talking with the architect, I felt it was a very efficient and an enjoyable way of approaching the whole project.
We actually came up and coined a term as a result of that because it was such an effective way to design and build, and that's a systems integrated home, which creates efficiencies in the whole process for us to be able to achieve, these kind of goals.
Coming up next, we'll see if this unique, highly collaborative approach will help Telemark achieve their ambitious goals for this cutting-edge home. After a devastating fire destroyed the Dubin family's home, Telemark collaborated with members of the Hamptons Green Alliance and architect Richard Stott to create a new and improved home for the Dubins, a home that could possibly make history. The new design has the potential to receive the highest LEED score in the country. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Because the luxurious design of the new home is larger than most standard LEED-rated homes, Telemark will have to go beyond the regular qualifications in order to achieve the score they need to be the top in the country.
We're blowing in closed cell and open cell insulation into the house to create an airtight envelope.
The foam lock is a spray polyurethane foam insulation. It seals the building envelope. One of the things that people take into account is the R value of insulation.
R value ratings measure an insulation's ability to resist heat flow. The higher the R value, the more effective the insulation will be.
Fiberglass is somewhere around 3.5 R values per inch. The closed cell foam that we have here in this attic is about 6.5 per inch, more than almost double than what fiberglass would give you.
Also on site today is Rich Manning. He is a Green Rater and verifier for the LEED for Homes program and is checking in on the progress so far.
This project here is very unique because they're going for one of the highest ratings in the country. I believe they'll be the one of the highest LEED certified houses in the United States.
The HERS Index, or Home Energy Rating System, is a scoring system that rates a home on a scale of 0 to 100. The lower a home's HERS index, the more energy efficient it is. The shell of the Dubin home earned a HERS rating of 25, a score almost unheard of for a home of this size. In order to achieve this, Telemark had to work closely with Robert Delfino, an energy auditor.
The process of Energy Star and the HERS rating is that we sat at the beginning of the house at the design stage when you're drawing your homes. And we come in and I have to look at all facets of the house.
One potential issue was the possibility that the home would be so well insulated that it would make it difficult to get fresh air and ventilation. Delfino's solution to this problem was using something called ERVs, or
Energy recovery ventilators. What that does is an inside-outside air exchanger. We'll put a fan in the front door and we'll depressurize the house and we'll get some readings. We'll measure that and then we'll set those ERVs to exchange the air so many minutes per hour. And that'll stabilize the house from being it too tight.
Another measure to be taken to reduce energy usage was the installation of high-efficiency windows. Provided by Green Mountain Window Company, these windows are both Energy Star and NFRC rated. From the very beginning, Telemark and the HGA team were leaving no stone unturned in the design of the Dubin home. Insulating the home soundly while maintaining efficient air circulation was an exciting first step for Telemark and the HGA. Sandra visited the site almost daily to keep close watch on the progress of her house.
While the house was being built, I was here probably every single day. It seemed almost like minute by minute I watched the house.
The anticipation of the Dubins' new house sparked excitement and compassion from members of the community who came to help and learn about the new technologies being implemented.
I'm learning about LEED technology just with everybody else, and it's really pretty cool.
To see the community get together to go and do something that's socially good is certainly, it speaks for itself, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Everyone got along and everyone was really excited and enthusiastic about it, and from there, that was really the beginning of this house.
Construction on the new property is nearly complete.
The phase that we're entering now in this project is quite an exciting phase. Now we start taking this envelope that we created and making it energy efficient.
Instead of adding solar panels as an afterthought to the finished project, architect Richard Stott incorporated them into the initial design of the house. Thin film solar panels, which are easy to apply and almost invisible, grace the front of the house. Standard solar panels live on the back.
The four on this east roof are going to look very similar to skylights. It's not going to be anything that's going to be glaring and jumping out in your face.
Those two systems will get most of the energy that we need for the house.
The panels provided an aesthetic challenge to the architect as well.
I have a little pet peeve about solar panels on roofs and how they look, so we're trying to integrate this, and it's called a building integrated photovoltaic system on that blue roof that you'll see in the front.
The power generated from the sun is also used to heat the water in the house through an elaborate network of tubes that transfer the heat to storage tanks. This solar thermal system not only provides hot water for domestic use, but also helps the geothermal system heat the home and the pool in the summer.
Those evacuated tubes are glass tubes. They have water vapor inside. As the sun heats up these tubes, the hot water vapor goes up to the top, goes in through a heat exchanger, and the cold water vapor goes back to the bottom and continues that process. Through this heat exchanger, it comes down through here and goes into this tank. This tank is fully supplying your domestic hot water in the house. On Saturday, we had fully hot water going on through the whole house, and we don't even have electric to this thing yet.
But what about days when the sun isn't shining?
If it's a cloudy day and they're using hot water in the house, once this gets used up, we'll go over to the buffer tank and they'll continually have hot water.
I think that if you didn't know otherwise, you wouldn't know that this is a green house.
Even when it was just a little bit sunny and it wasn't very warm out, I had an incredible amount of hot water.
LED lighting played a key part in the additional energy savings and is used throughout the house. The impact of this technology on electrical usage is quite dramatic.
We sought to reduce the amount of electric consumption by implementing LED lights.
The U.S. Department of Energy shows that household lighting can account for approximately 21 to 25% of total electric consumption. LED lights use 85% less electricity than conventional incandescent lighting. For the Dubin house, the total electric usage in the home will be reduced by 18 to 21% by doing nothing more than changing the light bulbs. The best part? LED bulbs last up to 20 years. It may seem like the Dubin house can't get any smarter, but it can. It is, in fact, as smart as a high-end automobile.
By connecting motion sensors to a smart system, this house knows, gee, no one's home. Let's automatically set the thermostats back to 55. Let's turn any lights that have been left on off.
The Dubins will even be able to call the system on their way home and have the heat turned up and the porch lights on when they arrive.
What we have in this house is a whole house smart system. So we have a control panel here, and you see the buttons that we can control lights, we can control security, temperature, we can do sound system. What also we have the ability to do is tie this system into other systems so that we can increase the efficiency of the house. We can also do it remote. You can do it from your iPhone and computer, anywhere you are.
With the integrated solar energy technologies, the team is optimistic they will reach the goal of net zero energy usage. What remains to be seen is how the Dubins will react to this smart, efficient, and truly one-of-a-kind home. With construction completed and new solar, geothermal, and other smart systems successfully installed, the Hamptons Green Alliance had created a home like no other.
Our house burned down 2 years ago, just about 2 years ago, on December 22nd, and it was really a really nice family night, and then unfortunately the next day the house burned down. So tonight is the first night that we are back in our home to light the Hanukkah candles.
Asher Pichanu b'mitzvotav Betzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah.
The first night we slept here was the most amazing night I remember, just because it was just, I could finally exhale, and the whole experience started with a house fire. And so for me, that experience was over, and it was incredible to be back in my house, be able to come downstairs and give my kids breakfast, or just live, knowing that it also was energy efficient, and that hopefully that we had set the standard for other people to build a home like this. It's a great feeling.
It was a case where the architects listened very closely to what Sandra wanted to have done, and they were able to take those thoughts and her wishes in the design of a home, integrate it into this home, and yet still make it very energy efficient.
The Dubin House exceeded the Hamptons Green Alliance expectations. The home earned the Residential Sustainability Award by LIPA, AIA and Green Logics, an Archie Award commendation, the Net Zero Residential Building Award, and the LEED Platinum Award. The home earned a LEED score of 104 points, making it one of the highest-rated homes in the country's history, and possibly the highest ever for a large luxury residence.
A normal home that's right-sized to earn LEED Platinum is 90 points, okay? We had to earn a minimum of 100 points because of the size of this home.
The team also received legislative resolutions from both the New York State Assembly and Senate. But most noteworthy, the HGA home is capable of generating more energy than it uses. And this means something rather remarkable occurred this summer. The electric meter behind the home was actually spinning backwards. The house is creating more energy than it needs to function.
Going net zero energy is new for us, new for this country. Our goal was carbon neutral. You know, we're carbon negative. This is kind of a revolutionary concept, and it could eventually eliminate power plants. I mean, can you imagine that, you know?
We did a model study on this based on today's energy usage costs and increasing it 5% over the next 30 years, which is your typical mortgage. We calculate a 7-year break even, and over the 30 years, a minimum of $250,000 savings to the owner.
Savings like this are unheard of for a home of this size and stature.
Many people wondered whether we could build a very energy efficient home of this size.
We're saying, you know, this is the Hamptons market. And in the Hamptons market, it's a luxury market. This client did not change anything as far as their lifestyle or their luxuries. We can build an extremely green home, and it really doesn't make a difference what size it is, as long as we have certain criteria.
We had an open house here with the state legislatures that were here, and they were amazed.
I was once told in every dark cloud there is a silver lining. We are now truly moving in the 21st century as citizens of this planet.
If people could just come and see what is being accomplished here, they'll know that this isn't abstract, this isn't theoretical, it's real, it's on the ground, it's happening now.
Now you can take that message to others. We all are here to educate on how it can be, not how it's always been, but what the future and the hopes are.
After having resurrected the Dubins home, Telemark is now as focused as ever on making energy-efficient dwellings.
It's good stewardship. It's good stewardship to our environment. It's good stewardship to the earth we live in. Every piece of energy that we can save, we're saving our environment. What Telemark wants to say to the architects in the community and the homeowner, it's not only just can be done and be affordable, but it can be aesthetically pleasing.
If you have a design in mind, you shouldn't think that it won't be suitable for renewable technologies. You can build the house that you really wish to.
The world is going in this direction, and if we don't, we're going to miss the boat.